Today, my friends, we are back with Fix That Fail. We're going to be taking a look at some time-failed attacks and how you guys can fix it. We're looking at Miner Hog Hybrid and we're looking at Pekka Smash, how you guys can fix these attacks even if they are around 90% and they are time-fail. So, as I said at the beginning, we're going to be going over some time fails, whether that be, a multi-inferno, a defense staying up, or a regular building staying up, or something like that. So, either way, if it takes up all the time, it's considered time fail to me, even if, it wasn't going to be close because, let's say, a multi-inferno tower was still up. So, that is just a fix that we're going to be able to take a look at. So, in this one, we're going to be taking a look at two different strategies. We're going to be taking a look at Miner Hog Hybrid, like we see right here, and we are going to be taking a look at Pekka Smash. We're going to be looking at these two different attacks, and we're going to see how each of them can be fixed, the same strategy being used in order to 3-star. Now, each of these are going to be around 90%, very high 90% 2 stars, which weren't able to get it done. So that's why in these two examples, this one was a 99% 2-star, and the other one was around a 97%. So we're going to be taking a look at this one first. So here is what the attacker decided to do. Here's what CS wanted to do. So what he wanted to do was funnel his queen in. So he used the king over here, get him in, lure out the CC. But what he wanted to do with his queen is charge her in. So he wanted to start his queen right here, and then, create the funnel here, and then also use the wall breakers to break open this and get rid of this multi-inferno. The idea here on what he wanted to do was clear out, this section here. So he wanted to clear out this section here with the king. Well, that's what happened in the example, but he wanted to also charge into here, get some value from inside the base, including getting rid of the eagle. Now, the big reason to why is you may already notice these defenseless zones. This is where, those multi-inferno towers are really going to be hammering anything on the outside realistically. So this is what causes one of the bigger faults, as a lot of those miners go like this due to the queen, and they also stay going this direction. So instead of going in towards that multi-inferno, they instead go around it, and that is what's going to be causing the 2-star fail at 99%. So even though it wasn't an entire sweep like typical, 99% 2 stars are, this still shows you guys, a really close attack, how it could be fixed. And that's really why I'm doing this episode of Fix That Fail. Now, what we're going to be seeing here first is he's dropping in the king. So what we're going to be doing is we're waiting for our king to create a solid enough funnel. Once he's created that funnel just enough so for our, for our queen, that way what we can do is you can see that he's dropping in one healer because he sees that it's going to move right on to the enemy king. So he's only going to do that to test. So definitely take that in mind, because if the queen doesn't take damage, then most likely what's going to happen is the healers will move to the king or the next closest hero or troop that is taking damage. So you'll see that what we're doing is we take out the CC, which is full of goblins and a baby dragon. Something a little bit different. But you'll see that what we're doing here is we are trying to break into this compartment. However, what we've got to deal with is a baby dragon, ice golem, and the goblin CC. Now you may see that we have some wall breakers here. And we used a couple test wall breakers if there were any small bombs. But the main reason here is if you'll take a look, even though those wall breakers are raged, they will not have enough power to actually get through that level of wall, which I believe is around a level 11. So they don't really have enough firepower to be able to do so. So what he's going to have to do is just really adjust on the fly, make sure that he can try to get something going, making sure they can get some sort of value from the outside. And then what he can do is start on the opposite side. He's just going to have to adapt. He wanted to charge in, but he couldn't. So he's going to start his funnel over here with the siege barracks on the other side. Once this funnel has been made, he's going to drop in his miners and his hog riders to go in like this along with his Grand Warden. Now he is going to use that Grand Warden ability a bit early so that then he can protect those hog riders, especially underneath the giant bomb or the bomb tower, and also against the queen, so that then the miners can deal with her very easily. So you'll see that as she's working her way or working their way through the base, you'll notice that what they're doing is they're going in this direction. Now, another thing that you might find really interesting, you might find really interesting. You notice that there was a lava hound in that clan castle. Pretty interesting to say the least. I've never seen someone bring a hound and balloon in their CC in terms of, you know, a miner hog hybrid. So that's something a little bit different, kind of something that I wouldn't really expect, but this was still a really close attack. I would say that if you had some hog riders in there, it would easily be a 3-star there. So you can see what I mean though. Definitely still a time fail in some capacity, even though the queen does get instantly taken out there and the wizards are not going to be any match. But even still, 99% 2-star is not too shabby with this attack. If he was able to wall break in, he probably would have been able to get the triple, especially having 4 rage spells and 2 heals. But now let's go ahead and take a look at the 3-star on this base. Now we're going to be taking a look at the 3-star, and this is going to be a really, really important thing. We're going to see something a little bit different. We're going to see the king being dropped up here, creating the funnel, going down as far as he can go. Not too far, but definitely still will help in terms of getting our miners and hogs right into the base. Not just this, but we're starting off with our queen a little bit early and our charge. Since we're clearing all those buildings where that arrow is, we're going to just wall break in this way. And then what we're going to also do is we are going to use a jump spell around this area here. What we're doing with that jump is we're going to get a little bit deeper into the base with our queen in order to sort of move in a direction like this. That way what happens is we now have the miners to go right through this section here and clear that area up. That is really all that this was. It was an easy fix, of course, creating the funnel on this side with the siege barrack, of course, but still making sure though that we see exactly what's going on. The black is where the king would be in terms of this attack. Of course, every base design that you would see is different, but still these small fixes, like you'll see that what he was deciding on was, all right, our attacker, the first attacker, you know, the scout attack, he used wall breakers, that's fine, but he didn't bring a jump spell. He thought if I wall breaked into the multi-inferno compartment, dealt with the CC, I could get a lot more value, but that just wasn't the case. So that is why the attacker here decided to get that 3-star by actually fixing up the attack, bringing a jump spell, and being able to sort of clear all of that out, and also just attacking from a different area. And the only reason to why we would attack from this purple, like you see this like violet-esque or magenta-esque color here, the biggest thing there is that you're going into like a curve. So we're stopping that funnel, like, you know, maybe around here. And what that allows us to do is it allows our miners and hog raiders to go to that multi-inferno rather than going around it. We are not going towards those dead zones. We're actually going towards the opposite. That is where this attack strategy really was able to succeed. And that's why, you know, this series is really made here. We want to make sure that you guys are finding ways to fix those fails, even if it is a 90% 2-star. Or just like, you know, somewhere in the 90s. That would be still considered somewhat of a time fail if you, well, of course, maybe a 97% to a 99% would be considered a time fail. So you'll see that what we're doing here is we are using a wizard and a king like we would typically. Usually the wizard's going to be paired up with the king to, you know, help out and also, you know, dictate where his pathing's going to be. But you'll see that what we're doing here is we are creating that funnel for the queen, which was really easy. And all we have to do now is just wall break in. We're going to use a couple test wall breakers, make sure that there are no small bombs, and then use our wall breakers, break open the wall. So you'll see that as we're moving into the base, we are dealing with things such as the cannons, the expos, but we are trying to get as much value as possible, which is the reason why we're going to use our rage spell. Make sure that we can deal with the enemy CC underneath that rage. We want to make sure that we are keeping our healers underneath it. We don't necessarily need our queen to be underneath that rage. We just need the healers to be. So you'll see that what we're going to do is poison up the enemy CC. We're going to deal with that with another rage spell. And since we are getting close to that queen, we can use that rage in order to deal with that as well. On the opposite side, you'll see that we're starting off with the siege barrack, creating that funnel there. This is going to easily allow us access to be able to send our miners straight in this direction. That's what we're looking at. That's what we're going to be trying to do with this. So as we're moving our way in, the big thing here is that we have the jump spell. It's going to be able to get us a little bit more value than before. Another thing that you may notice is we're not bringing as many hog riders. So we've got a lot more miners in this case because we're going to also have some CC hog riders too. So if you don't want to bring as many miners or as many hog riders, then it might be better to bring more miners. Just it allows you to clear up a little bit, and they tend to stay a little bit more invincible for, a short period of time, of course. But you'll see that what's going on here is we saved our warden ability for later, and you'll see that we have a couple miners going in here, we have hog riders going in here, and we even have a heal spell. So that's going to allow us to take care of that multi-inferno, which was a pain before, and now we can easily get through the rest of the base, even with some to all of those miners on the outside of the base. That's a really, really simple way of 3-starring with an attack like this. But with that being said, we're going to be taking a look at one more strategy. We're going to be taking a look at Pekka Smash and how you guys can figure out how to get 3 stars even with a sort of time fail. So in this next example, we're looking at Pekka Smash here, and what we're going to be looking at here is with a quad quake and a jump. Now, a big thing here to why this attack failed was partially due to the fact that a lot of the stuff walked around this multi-inferno, and he didn't have time to clear these last 2 structures. So that is going to be a big thing here. So the main idea though was we were going to quad quake into this compartment right here. The next thing that we were going to do is we were going to create the funnel over here and over here. You may notice that this base design is really awkward. One of the biggest things that I kind of notice is that, for one, we've got the air sweepers pointing down. We've got the eagle sort of in that sort of centered area, along with with these bomb towers here protecting it. Another thing is we've got the air defenses sort of skewed among the base, especially 2 on the outside. And just overall, it's a little bit of a more awkward base. Definitely something a little bit interesting to hit. However, Pekka Smash was still a really good option, mainly due to the fact that we were able to create a funnel here and a funnel down here that allowed us to sort of enter into the base like this with our siege barrack, which did have that Pekka. That's why we sometimes send it in. And also we had our Pekkas, our regular Pekkas, bowlers. What I mean by regular is our Pekkas. And then we also had our bowlers going in and our heroes. So that's going to be the big thing there. The only thing that really made this attack very difficult is after this was done being targeted, everything kind of moved onto where a large portion of those buildings were, which is on the outside. So this base is a little bit more awkward, as once you take out this compartment here, it's defenseless. So everything will actually work its way around rather than, going straight through. And that is going to be a big factor here. So let's go ahead and kind of play this example so then you guys can see what I mean in terms of this replay. So what you'll see here first, dropping in the cocoa loon. This is a big thing here. A coconut loon is a great thing to start off with. This can be done with most air troops except for balloons. You're going to use a balloon in order to soak up any seeking air mines for things like healers. Also for things such as the king, or not the king, but the battle blimp, the stone slammer, and also with baby dragons. So that is going to be where it's going to be commonly used. Let me know in the comments below if you guys would want to see a video on how you guys can use cocoa loons for different attack strategies, and I'll try and bring that to you guys. Now, the big thing here you'll notice is that we are using that quad quake, dealing with the enemy CC here. And what we're going to do is we're going to pop our Grand Warren ability, make sure that we're protecting our bowlers underneath those 2 ice golems. And what we're going to be able to do, though, is still get rid of a large portion of this compartment. We are going to be able to take care of the eagle, and that's really good. But you'll see that after that, things start to sort of move on to the outside. Things start to die off. We have a couple hogs here that are going to allow us to sort of get through some of those defenses on the outside. However, it is not enough because the Pekkas, the Queen, the Warden, they all will stay on the outside and definitely cause some havoc. So you'll see that what we're doing, we're making sure that we can get through it, but definitely is not looking too good as everything is on the outside of the base. So how do we fix this? What's going to be happening? So we had to play it by ear. Luckily, we had a couple Pekkas go into the base, but instead of going in for the multi-inferno, they take the jump that was left there, and they're going to take that jump in order to sort of, get rid of that, archer tower, of course. You'll see that, though, that the Inferno is the last sort of defense in its own compartment. However, you'll see that these two defenses were just left unaccounted for, and he wasn't able to sort of get through that section. So that is a really tough sort of, he could have gotten this, still had enough health on the Pekka, but just didn't have enough time. So it's a 97% time fail, or 97% 2-star time fail, but we're going to be looking at the fixed attack for this strategy. Here's what we're going to be taking a look at. We're going to look at the fixed attack of the Pekka Smash, and what we're going to look at is the same area. We're hitting from the same side. The only fix that could have been made was a better jump spell placement right there. That allowed us to sort of hop over the base, hop over into those walls, get rid of that multi-inferno, and we're still going to be able to get rid of a large chunk, especially when we take this out with the Pekkas. Once that happens, we're able to easily get ourselves around the base and take out the Town Hall for the 2-star and get rid of the rest of the base for a 3-star. That's going to allow ourselves to sort of understand how you guys can use a Pekka Smash, when and where to use it, and why it is still a very powerful method. So, with that being said, that kind of gives you guys the whole idea of this. Making sure that we're quad quaking in the same area, we're jumping in this area instead of up here, as the attacker previously thought that after the Pekkas were to target here, they'd go here, but they were mistaken. And instead what would happen is we are still creating a funnel here and here in order to sort of keep our Pekkas to move into the base rather than staying on the outside. That is going to basically keep you guys into making sure that you can really use that Pekka Smash effectively at Town Hall 11. So, now we're going to go ahead and play this, and the biggest thing I want you guys to sort of take away from this video is to really understand the power of these two attacks. These two attacks are really, really strong, and as far as I would say, these are easy ways to be able to fix your fails at Town Hall 11. You'll see that we're not dropping in a Coco Loon. We didn't even bring a balloon because that was a choice that we decided to make in terms of, the scout and really all of that. So you'll see that what we're doing is we're using a couple Pekkas to create the funnel. Luckily, we're going to have a Pekka moving into the base along with the rest of our attack. And what that now allows us to do is have this Pekka over here create the funnel a little bit more. He's going to die out there. However, we still have the Pekka, the bowlers, some of the wizards in there to sort of go up into this section, be able to clear a little bit more of that out. So we're just going to be able to easily work our way into the base here thanks to that quad quake, and you'll see that we have a better jump spell placement as we get a little bit closer in. And we're just really taking our time against against this base. We want to make sure that we're jumping into the right moment. So you'll see right here, we use a heal in order to keep the bowlers, Pekkas alive, whatever's in there. And then we're also going to use that jump so that then we can actually get rid of that multi-inferno. And even though some of them do move on to the outside, we have a Pekka right on top of that multi-inferno, which is going to help us clear that out. And that's how it's going to help us basically fix this entire attack and allow us to get the 3-star. That is a really, really huge way in order to sort of fix this type of attack. As right now it looks like it could be a time fail, but because the Queen still has her ability, the Warden is still alive, and all that stuff, it really allows ourselves to get through the base design like you'll see right here. So just a very, very easy way of being able to 3-star here at Town Hall 11. A couple more fix that fail videos. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know in the comments below if you guys want to go ahead and see more of this Fix That Fail. I really see that you guys enjoy it, so let me know in the comments below what you guys tend to enjoy. Let me suggest me anything more that you guys want me to sort of do in terms of this series, and also let me know in terms of what Town Hall level. Also, feel free to go ahead and join the Exit Humanity family. Feel free to go ahead and join, any of those Discord servers within the description of this video, including my Twitter, my Instagram, my Discord server, and my Twitch. All the links are in the description below. Feel free to go ahead and check that out. And also go ahead and, join the Corrupt fam by subscribing to the channel and turning on that notification bell so you guys don't miss anything. But with that being said, guys, that's going to do it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll be seeing you guys next time. Corrupt, signing out.